Hello, welcome to the Football Terrace. José Mourinho has been sacked, relieved of duty from his post as Manchester United manager. It is official. The majority of Man United fans have got the news that they wanted, that we wanted. The Portuguese man, the special one, has been removed. We're going to go through some of the press release by Manchester United. I'm here to gauge your news. I'm here your reaction to this news and to see how you think and how you feel. It has only just happened in the last 10 minutes. It's just happened. So much to speak about, so much to go through. I'm actually going to share this stream now while we're live. Do me a massive favor, everyone tuning in. Please share this post. Hit the like button for me as well. I need to get as many viewpoints. This post, hit the like button for me as well. I need to get as many viewpoints and opinions from people. So yeah, it's huge news. Absolutely huge news. Just posting here. Sorry, do bear with me. There we go. Should be back with you. How you doing? How you doing? Such a shame. He was doing a fantastic job, is what Gavin says. Clearly a Liverpool fan there. And you know what? I'm actually happier than I thought I would be. I'll give you my viewpoints and opinions on it in a minute. I'm going to wait for a few more live streamers to get in. If you're watching the playback, welcome. But yeah, José Mourinho has been sacked as manager of Manchester United. Wow, massive news. Huge news to come out. Didn't expect... I didn't expect it. I literally didn't expect this to happen today. I didn't expect this to happen so soon. All I can say is that I've not read any of the press releases yet. I'm actually happy. I'm happy that the board and everybody involved with Manchester United has had the decency to get this done. They've swallowed the huge... I mean, you're talking around £22 million to get rid of him. A lot of that is their fault through extending his deal. But they've got rid of the man. And no matter what you think, no matter how you feel about this situation, getting rid of José Mourinho at this point had to be done. Just simply and utterly had to be done. No doubt about that in a million years. They had to move him on. But what next? Who is going to come in? Who's going to manage in the interim? We're going to jump into the press conference in a moment. But massive news out there today. So I'm just sharing the links for this online. If you guys could do the same for me, that would be amazing. José, I don't even know what the hashtags for this are, but José sacked is what I'm putting in. Wow. The first thing I'm actually going to do is gauge what you're all saying out there, how you're feeling about this. I'm going to go to some of your live comments, and then we'll have an official look at what's been released. So, Mr. Dank says Zidane is never going to Man United. I wouldn't bank on that. Liverpool supporter here. Man United's play in the derby was unacceptable. Firing long overdue. I completely agree with you. I think that I actually think that the reaction from José Mourinho from Sir Alex Ferguson, not shaking his head, Woodward shaking his head. I think that was almost the straw that broke the camel's back. Something had to give after that. Somebody had to move on. Something had to change, and it has done. José Mourinho has been sacked. Completely and utterly agree with you. Fantastic news. Should have been sacked after the FA Cup final. Do you know what? With hindsight, you're right, because the board had already decided not to back him, to not give him all the players that he wanted, to not allow him to sell the players that he wanted to move on. That's why I've said all along, the board have made some catastrophic mistakes that have ended up costing them so much more money and almost writing off a season. It's absolutely crazy. But he has now gone. Man United fans can now look to move on. Let's go and hear what the official club statement has said. It seems to be down, the official club statement. It's not loading up on my screen. So I can't get that one up. But this is what Sky Sports have said. They'll have taken the extracts. That actually says more to follow. It just says José Mourinho has been sacked by Manchester United. More to follow. So there's actually no direct news in regards to that. A lot of people here just looking happy. Thank God is what I'm reading a lot from people. Thank God is what the majority of people are out here saying. The likelihood is... Well, it depends. No one knows. The likelihood is that Michael Carrick or one of the coaches will step up now in the interim period. Who are Man United going to go after? If they want Pochettino, it's going to cost around £40 million. I don't know if they've got £40 million to spend on to release a manager from his release clause now. You've got Jardim and Zidane that are currently available. But the biggest viewpoint, the biggest thing going around my mind is now United look close to signing a director of football. There has to be a plan. There has to be a motion of moving forward of how Man United are going to try and play football, how they're going to try and what they're going to try and develop moving forward. Having an identity, having a footballing philosophy that we can be proud of, utilising the quality players that we've got in this squad: Martial, Pogba, Lindelof, Bailly, De Gea, Rashford, using these players, moving out the dead wood. There's so much that needs to be done, so much work, so much turmoil, so many years of mediocrity that need to be undone. All of that is, of course, going to be answered. But there we go. There's a comment here saying, stop with this Giggs and Carrick rubbish. Love them, but they're not the answer. I think Giggs in the short term could be. Listen, by the way, everyone tuning in, please smash that like button for me. Massive news. José Mourinho has lost his job as Manchester United manager. I need to go and grab a charger for my phone because it's going to run out in a second. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Back in a few moments. Why do people persist on trying to phone me, man? So I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to go and get a charger. I wasn't even expecting this news. I was outside. My son was riding his new bike. And then I get messages from everybody saying he's been sacked. And I'm like, yo, I didn't even know. I literally didn't even know. A big comment there from Voldemort who just says, yes! Official Jardim, the new coach. Is that official or is that just what you're telling me? I don't even know if that's official. Let's just click on news and go and check. I'd love that to be the case. Yeah. There we go. It's an interesting one. There's a few streams out here. There's the live stream with Sky Sports that we're going to click on, see if anything's actually being said. Taxi for Mourinho. Loads of comments here. A little super chat from Thomas says, Je n'aime Shaqiri. All right, cool. I'm not even worried. Do you know what, Liverpool fans? There's nothing you can do right now. That result the other day is history now because Jose's gone. The new era of Man United is starting already. And I ain't going to get all gassed. I'm not going to get all ahead of myself here because there's a long way to go. But at the end of the day, the boring football is finished. The pessimistic attitude of Jose is gone. And we will start to get answers. That's the best bit now. We're going to start to get answers. When a new man comes in, what we're then going to see pretty much straight away is, are some of these players good? You heard yesterday, Gary Neville and Roy Keane getting so much abuse from Man United fans. People basically saying, they're talking nonsense. The players are good enough. We'll get those answers. The attitude of certain individuals, we'll get those answers. We'll understand whether it was all Jose Mourinho or not, or whether there are bigger problems at the club that have led to this. There's so many things. But the first step was removing Jose Mourinho. He is now gone. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a lot happier than I thought I would be. Do you know what? Manchester United's website has gone down. Man United's website has crashed. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So let's go to some of your live comments then here. Apparently Carrick won't be caretaker manager. There will be an external appointment. The only thing I hope for is that external appointment is what Man United want. I hope that we're not just going to throw in Jardim or Zidane if that's not the man they really want. Does that make sense? What I'm hoping for is that the delay in sacking Jose Mourinho has been because they've been building up to getting the right man in. That is what I'm hoping and praying for. If that's the case, then happy days. We're in the right place. Johnson here says, welcome Zidane. That's a big question I want to ask you all tuning in. By the way, there's nearly 2,000 people tuning into this live stream. Please smash that like button for me. If you haven't not subscribed already, do that for me as well. Let's try and get this to over 1,000 likes because I need as many viewpoints and opinions as possible on this. And the question I'm asking you on a real level, who do you want in? Pochettino, Conte, Ryan Giggs is a name that keeps coming up. Zidane, Jardim. Who would be your choice? Who would be the man you would want to come in now and replace Jose Mourinho? That is the big question. I would love to know from yourselves. Loads of comments coming in here. Some people say Michael Carrick. Look, maybe as an interim, but not as full-time manager. Zidane, Laurent Blanc, that's a great example. Big Sam. Look, the interesting thing is all the shade is coming from the City and Liverpool fans. And that's a question as well, Liverpool fans, City fans. In the last few months, you've been praising the quality of Man United's squad, talking about how good Pogba, how good Lindelof, Bailly, Martial, Rashford are, but they're all being held back by Jose. Are you now fearful with Jose gone and potentially a better, more flamboyant manager coming in? Are you now concerned? Are you now concerned that Man United could move in that right direction and be back? Because we've had 3 bad manager appointments on the bounce. Could United now bounce back with the quality squad you've been talking about or not? That's the question for yourselves. It was my birthday yesterday. It would have been nicer if it had happened yesterday, but it's happened today, so happy days. There we go. Over 2,000 people tuning in. This is the biggest live stream the Football Terrace has ever had, so thank you all very much for doing that. Still waiting for more news to transpire, but massive news right now. Man United's website has crashed. Oh, actually, some breaking news has just come in. Oh, here. I just crashed my own live stream. Some news has just that Michael Carrick has taken control as interim Manchester United manager. That's what he's saying here. Opta Joe has put some stats out. It says 176. Man United won 176 Premier League points since the appointment of Jose Mourinho. Fewer than Manchester City, who got 222. Tottenham 202. Chelsea 200. And Liverpool 196. Yeah, exactly. Oh, here we go. It says Man United are planning to announce a caretaker manager within the next 48 hours. This will be an external appointment. Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna will take training for the next couple of days. Sorry, so Michael Carrick isn't going to be the interim manager. He is just taking training for the next few days. An interim will be appointed. Now, do you know what that says? The fact that they've put in here to appoint a caretaker manager suggests that Jardim and maybe Zidane are not the choices. That makes me believe it is Maurizio Pochettino that Manchester United are going to go for with hammer and tong. Because the other 2 are available now. Laurent Blanc is available now. Conte is available now. Why would you not bring that new manager in early? Conte, I know, has got some contract restrictions because of his payout from Chelsea, but I don't even think he's a runner in this. So that is an interesting breaking development. Let's go now, though, and find out next. Man United manager odds. Let's go check that out as well. And before we do, let's go to more your live comments. Lawrence Elliott. I keep seeing those comments from you, son. You're gone, boy. What a great Christmas present is what AJ has had to say. Of course it is. It's an amazing Christmas present. The numbers of the live stream keep going, but not enough of you are hitting that like button. Let's get this to over 1,000 likes, please, ladies and gentlemen. Mo here says, reports saying from Zidane's camp a few weeks ago that there was no interest in the United job. Look, I think on Zidane, I think that a lot of that was said because he didn't want to disrespect Jose Mourinho in his current position. It's a very... I'm not saying Zidane will be the manager, but it's a very normal thing for a manager to do, to not speak out. So I have no interest. No, Jose's the manager. That's decorum. That's professionalism that which Man United need more than anything right now. Man United need professionalism from a new manager. Here we go. Gary Neville. No, he won't be the manager. Should not be Giggs is what John has to say. I don't think it will be Ryan Giggs. Carrie here says Poch will stay at Tottenham for 1 more year at least. Well, if not Pochettino, then who? Everybody's got their own viewpoint and opinion. I wanted Jardim. I'd be very happy with Pochettino. I would be sceptical with Zinedine Zidane. I would be unhappy with Conte. Laurent Blanc, I'd be a bit like Zidane. I'd be 50-50 on. So for me, I'm in 2 minds on this. I really am. I am in 2 minds. Loads of things here. A few people saying Paul Scholes. Roy Keane. Why are people saying Roy Keane? Come on, Roy Keane is a foul football manager. There's no way in a million years that Man United would appoint Roy Keane. Just will never, ever, ever, ever happen. Can we get this live stream to over 3,000? That's the big question for you all now. If you hit the like button, if you hit the share button, we will. Big breaking news. Man United have sacked José Mourinho. He is gone. Let's click here on the... Let's go and check the odds for next Man United manager. Let's go check the odds. Okay, this is for next... Okay, next permanent manager. Michael Carrick's currently leading the way. Hang on a sec. Caretaker and interim managers competing for the last 10 competition games. Okay, so the reason Michael Carrick is leading the odds is because the bets are caretaker and interim managers completing at least 10 competitive games will be deemed the permanent manager. So Michael Carrick is currently leading the betting odds at 10 to 11 on. Zidane is the second favourite at 4 to 1. Maurizio Pochettino 8 to 1. Nicky Butt 8 to 1. Laurent Blanc 9 to 1. Gus Hiddink 10 to 1. Ryan Giggs 10 to 1. Leonardo Jardim is actually 16 to 1. He is a complete outsider. You've got Allegri at 16 to 1. Didier Deschamps and Diego Simeone at 20 to 1. Right now, the bookmakers think it's going to be Michael Carrick or Zinedine Zidane. That's who they think, and that is who they believe is coming in. But let's talk a bit more about Man United here. And look, he had to be sacked. Look, I'm almost done debating the good, the bad, the ugly. Jose's style of football wasn't good enough for Man United. It didn't improve this summer like I wanted it to, and it became toxic. I was willing to give him this season, but the toxic behaviour, the attitude, and the way the dressing room was falling apart, the manager had to be moved on. Had to be moved on. And as I said to Adam the other day, the best time to do it is now. Because whether it is an interim or a permanent manager that comes in, it gives somebody else the time to review the squad and to check out who the quality players are, who the deadwood is. It enables somebody else to put a bit of an assessment report together for the board, for Woodward, the directors, and for the permanent new manager coming in. These are your good guys. These are your workhorses. These are your dedicated individuals. These are your talented people that are dedicated. These are the talented guys that are a bit of a problem. Here are the people you need to get rid of. You know, they might sort them into multiple sections and they will move people on. And it's so important for the next manager to have that. They've now got half of December left, and then they've got 4.5 months to the end of the season. And these players can now fight for their careers. And do you know what? They're trying to get new deals for the likes of Juan Mata, De Gea and Anthony Martial. Jose is that biggest problem for those players. He has been removed. Let's see if these players really love the club. Let's see if we do appoint Zidane, will we keep hold of these players? It's massive. Absolutely massive. Few reports here saying that comments here. This is from Gary Neville. Gary Neville has told us that he thinks Spurs boss Maurizio Pochettino should be Manchester United's target to become the new permanent boss. This is what he has had to say. I've been fortunate to spend time at Tottenham's training ground, and for me, he feels like the ideal candidate. Manchester United have tried managers who have won European Cups, and they have tried managers who have won multiple leagues. My view is they need someone who meets the three key principles of the football club, and that's promoting of youth, entertaining football, and to win football matches. But the interesting thing is, with Man United's prowess in the transfer market, with the quality of squad they've got, with the ability to bring more players in, and we can land big players still, if Maurizio Pochettino gets these players playing brilliant football, if he promotes youth and we win games, we will win trophies. We will win trophies. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And I'd be happy with Maurizio Pochettino. My dad will be gutted because he is a Spurs fan. There is no doubt about that in a million years. But, yeah, it'd be amazing. And of course, we can still bring big players into the club. And hopefully Pochettino, if it was him, he could help us land my guy, Harry Kane. Best number 9 in the world, in a Man United shirt. Move Lukaku on. Happy days. I'm in a good mood. I didn't actually think I'd celebrate this hard. I really didn't, but oh well. Still a few people here. No Zidane. Is anybody out there against Zinedine Zidane coming in? That's what I would love to know. Is anybody out there against Zinedine Zidane coming in? That's the big question for me. Maybe not for you, but it is for me. Kane isn't the best striker. Well, that's an opinion. That is an absolute opinion thing. For me, he's the best number 9 in the world. And maybe my allegiance is changing now. Maybe I would prefer Pochettino because maybe we could land some of those Spurs superstars. Would they want to come and work for him again? Maybe. Tom here says, absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to watch us play Cardiff. Absolutely right. And that's a great point as well. Now, and this is the fun bit for me. What I've been looking forward to the most about him leaving is we now get to see, like we get to legitimately see the good, the bad, the ugly. We legitimately get to see which players were down in tools, which players aren't good enough, which players were a problem along with José Mourinho. Was the bad football tactics? Was it attitude? Was it the toxic environment? Was it a combination of them all? There's so many answers that we're going to get now. None of us know the answers to them, but come Saturday, we'll start that journey, that rebuilding process at Manchester United. And for once, we haven't waited until the season's finished in April. We can still turn this round this season. Man United can still turn it round this season. There is no doubt about that. Of course, Tony, of course I'm buzzing, mate. My club have made... do you know what? Like, I dislike the way Ed Woodward and the board run so many facets of my football club. But I am happy with that decision because it's taken... They've had to use their cojones. They've had to swallow and eat up a lot of money. But they've done it for the greater good of the football club. A director of football is very, very close to being appointed. No doubt about that. And all of those things feed into the fact that Man United are trying to move back in the right direction. And that's all we can hope for. That is all we can hope for. That is all we can hope for. And we're starting to get what we want again. We need a director of football. Absolutely. That is from Kai Glow. Man United do, and they're very close to appointing one. So I believe. And I think that's all part of the restructure. And what I'm hoping is, these are the things that need to happen. A director of football needs to come in. He needs to be the guy, along with the manager, that has the final say on players promoted and players brought into the club and players signing new deals. They need to work collectively on that. The board just needs to sanction the money. We then need to have an ethos and a style of football return to this football club. By the way, nearly 3,000 people tuning in. Please hit that share button. Please hit that like button for me as well. Let's get this to over 1,000 likes, please, ladies and gentlemen. That ethos, that philosophy of football. United need to go back to playing entertaining game. The entertaining game. And like I've said, I was very happy with Jose when he signed because I believed he would win us major trophies. The club decided many, many months ago they were going to no longer back him. They weren't happy with him. They should have got rid of him there and then when they made that decision. They didn't. Jose failed. People like myself were wrong. He was not the right manager. When a new guy comes in, I am never being that gassed again about a new signing or a new manager coming in. I will look at it as a pragmatic view. I will look at it from a positive, and I'll look at it from an area of concern. That is how I'm going to address things moving forward, because each manager appointment, I've allowed myself to run away with enthusiasm and expectations, and it's bitten me in the backside. But if Man United can instill a better structure in the buying and selling of players and get a philosophy back, a style of football that we are proud of as Manchester United fans, they can and they will start to move back in the right direction. No doubt about that in my mind. Let's go for a few more of your comments here. Terry, do you think this means we won't spend any money in January? Okay, depends. But what I was told by an ex-Man United employee a month or so ago, 5-6 weeks ago, is that Man United offered a job to Zinedine Zidane, which he turned down. There was a sum of around £100 million offered to that new manager in January. There is cash there to be spent. However, I wouldn't want us to spend money if it's not being agreed to by the potential new manager and a director of football, because we could end up buying, again, the wrong type of player for the new philosophy and style of football that we want to promote and that we want to play. And I think that's where Manchester United just need to start being a little bit more careful than what they have been in recent times. There we go. But yeah, absolutely flying at the moment, guys. And I'm just very, very happy you're all tuning in. Appreciate your love and support today. We are the biggest Jose out and live stream. It's actually on the internet right now. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We're actually in front of everybody. So thank you. A lot of comments from people saying we're back. Not quite. I wouldn't quite say that Man United are back yet. There's a lot more work to be done. But at the end of the day, Man United have made the right decision. Man United they've bit the bullet. And that's the most important thing for them to have done. Let's just keep seeing Sky. Okay, Gary Neville. Again, more Gary Neville comments saying that he thinks it should be Pochettino. That's the big news right now. Let's see if that affects the odds at all. Let's search this. Because the odds will change depending on who people put money on. Come on, guys. Let's get this stream to 3,000 viewers, please. That would be amazing. Zinedine Zidane has moved to 2-1 from 4-1. Nicky Butt is still third favourite. Surprised by that. Wow. And you can no longer put bets on Maurizio Pochettino. Maurizio Pochettino, there are no odds available now on Sky Bet for Maurizio Pochettino to be the next Manchester United manager. All bets are off. They have suspended bets on Pochettino being the next Manchester United manager. That is huge. That is huge. I'm now going to go on to Odds Checker. Let's see if Man United's website's come back up yet. Man United's website's crashed. That's how many people have flooded to Man United's official website. It's crashed, bruv. Crashed. Comment here from Carrie, who said, subscribed. By the way, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I was hoping Jose stayed, but he did have to go. Your team was becoming a joke. And they were becoming a joke, no doubt about it. Man United fans need patience, at least 3-year tenure with attractive attacking play. Temporary quick fix won't work in the Premier League era. Good job to us. Yeah, I agree with you completely. United fans need to be patient no matter who comes in. And that's going to be key, to be patient and to wait and to understand that we will have some good football straight away, but are we going to challenge? Are we going to get to City and Liverpool's level within a season? Probably not. Let's be honest. If we do, amazing, but that's not the expectation. For me, it'll be about winning more games, being more positive on the football pitch, clearing out some of the dead wood, revitalising and rekindling relationships with some of our star players. You know, I've been critical of Paul Pogba at times, and I think he's deserved it in particular games. But I'm now excited because we're going to get to see Paul Pogba, Rashford, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Matic, Fred, all these individuals, Andres Pereira. We're going to get to see all these guys in a less pragmatic, more attacking style of football. That's something to be infused about. Don't get overly gassed. Don't start telling Liverpool fans we're going to catch up with them inside a year. We're not going to win the Premier League next season or the Champions League this year. But it's about saying we've got this young group of players. We're going to get a manager in who's going to get the best out of them. The best out of them from an attacking point of view, from a flamboyant point of view. And that has to be celebrated. That has to be celebrated. Again, don't get me wrong. I think the board and some of the players have made some terrible mistakes under and behaved terribly under the José Mourinho era. He isn't totally to blame. I'll never yield from that. But the right thing to do was to remove him. And he's gone. So I'm buzzing, mate. Simply buzzing. Let's see what a few more people here have got to say. Carrick is training. He's taking the training. That's a joke. Well, not really. He's the coach now, so he's going to continue with that. They're not just going to get rid of the coaching staff. They're going to move him on. But it's crazy. It's crazy news. I'm so happy. In my opinion, you should give Eddie Howe a chance. No, look, I think Eddie Howe has done a fantastic job at Bournemouth. But there are other managers that have done it at bigger clubs. Bigger clubs than Eddie Howe has, who I think would handle the step up to Man United a little bit better. I think Eddie Howe potentially, say Pochettino comes to United, a club like Tottenham, that size of a club, they're a better football team than Man United right now, but they're not a bigger club. There isn't as much attention. Eddie Howe needs that jump up. He needs to go from a Bournemouth to a bigger Premier League side. And then if he's successful there at, say, like a Tottenham level size club, then maybe an Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea could be the next move for him. Hello, Wilson. Long time no see, Wilson. Resident Gooner that's always involved with us here has said, I think it should be Jardim. Yeah, look, if Man United signs Jardim as a new manager, I would be happy. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I would be happy with him coming in. This is from Deborah MUFC. Says, wow, we need to fix the board problems. Director of football, learn from mistakes. Absolutely, the appointment of a new manager isn't the only thing that's going to fix Manchester United. There is a lot more at stake. There is a lot more that needs to be done. However, it's a step and a move in the right direction. I'm proud it's happened. Overjoyed, in fact, that it has happened. And it's just before we go into the festive period where hopefully now it will yield a few more better results for Manchester United. Yes, 10 points or so away from a top 4 position. I think that's potentially recoverable with the quality of players that we've got. Hopefully with the toxic atmosphere removed, United could still muster something from this season to push us into the next. And if we don't, we've still made the right positive move as it stands right now. Before the Boxing Day, yes, lads. I don't really get what you mean by that. The main problem is the guy with no football knowledge is making decisions at the top. It needs to go to a director of football. Yeah, but I understand Man United are... I'm going to Google search that for a second because I do believe Man United are very close to... I was reading about it this morning, appointing a director of football. Let me type the director of football. Let's just put the word Man United in. Let's just do this. Yeah. There's lots of talk this morning about that happening. Yeah, lots of... Just Google search it. There's lots of areas and lots of media outlets talking about that being something that's almost happening or almost done. So I think they are going to do that. You're right. £24 million lighter and Big Sam on the phone. Clearly a Liverpool fan saying that, but fair play, fair play. It's Jardim, the board have told me, is what liquid has had to say. Comment here. Poch loves Spurs. He's not budging. Listen, mate, it's going to take a lot to remove Pochettino from Spurs. But I think people underestimate the pull and the draw of Manchester United Football Club. I think people underestimate the pull and the draw. And, you know, we signed some huge players a few years ago with no Champions League football. There is an amazing squad at this club. There is an amazing squad at this club. Actually, let me rephrase that. There's some amazing players at this club. And there is a big amount of work to be done. There is a lot of dead wood to remove on. But there is an academy producing quality players. You've got to think from an academy point of view, right? You've got, obviously, forget the guys that are in the under-18s and doing... There's some great players there. Just now, with the likes of Tuanzebe, Fosu Mensah, Andres Pereira, you've got Rashford inside the first team. You've got the likes of Chong and Gomez. All these individuals are there or thereabouts within the squad. They will get more game time under Mauricio Pochettino. Plus, you move out some of the older deadwood. You bring in... I mean, do you know who we forgot about? Just Alexis Sanchez could be reborn. Alexis Sanchez. Remember he played for Man United? He's been here a year. We've barely seen the guy. A better manager with better tactics who plays more attacking football could be... Imagine that. Just like a new signing, bruv. Like a new signing. For me, I'm infused. There's so much that could happen. There's so much that's going to happen over the next few days. It's going to be amazing. We'll be here breaking that news to yourselves as always. But yeah, absolutely, everything's crazy out there. Everything is crazy out there. It's, yeah, so many. Jesus, the amount of videos out there that are streaming at the minute that are going viral is crazy. But yes, José Mourinho has been sacked as Manchester United manager. I'm going to end this stream right now because I think we've said all we need to say. Thank you all for tuning in. Please smash that like button. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.